Well, g'day everyone. Recently, SANDMARC sent me an anamorphic lens for my iPhone. It was a 1.33 version, and I loved it. In fact, I loved it so much, I asked if they could send me their latest version, which is a 1.55 times lens, and they did. So it's here. Now, I'll just show you the lens quickly. So this is the lens itself. Just comes with a, like a cover, and also a back cover that protects the lens itself. I think they're made from metal. Really nicely made, and all you do is you just screw this onto your phone. Now it does come with a case inside. Now it's the lower quality case, it's a plastic attachment here, but they also sent me a much better one, which is their higher ended one, which has a sort of metal attachment that you attach onto here. So I would probably recommend that you do go that way if you're doing this, because I'm not sure how robust it would be with a cheaper version to screw it sort of on and off all the time. You get this little clip on as well that you can use. If you didn't want to use the case, you can just use that, and that will basically just clip over your cameras like that. So that's how you could use that if you wanted to use it on a phone and not use the cases at all. So that's quite a nice feature if you wanted to go that way. But I really love the feel of this case. It feels almost like a leather. It's probably not, but it does feel like that. Now all you do is you just screw in your lens onto, now it's the wide lens, it's not the wide angle lens that you're using, so you just screw it in, and then at the front you just line up here to it. There's also a notch on the case as well, and you line those two up together. In fact, that's one thing I've got to learn. Sometimes I do forget and it might move, and you do have to constantly move it back, so you've got to be careful about that. But I love the way that this gives you the anamorphic look, which is the nice lights that sort of come right across the image. It's sort of a flare, and I'll sort of show these as I'm talking about them, and I really adore it. It's such a lovely look. And you see that often in science fictions and in Hollywood and things like that, but it's lovely. Now, the shoot that I'm going to show you today, though, is I've just shot around Melbourne, so we're not going to get that anamorphic look in with the flares, but it will give you that beautiful wide angle look that you can get straight out of the phone without having to, say, de-squeeze in something like Final Cut, or using the another software like Premiere or something like that. You don't have to use Filmic Pro. I'm using Filmic Pro, but you can also just use the straight camera app and then de-squeeze in your editing software like Final Cut. You just have to work out the percentage that you'd like to go down. I think it was around about 64% or something like that that you have to put in. But the only issue last time was because I was using Filmic Pro, and you are meant to, what I'm using, I should say, is I'm shooting in 25p, so my shutter speed should be 50th. It's meant to be double your shutter speed. So what you do in Filmic Pro is you just lock that in at 1/50th of a second. Now the problem is, though, if you do that, you will get overexposure if you're dealing with sunlight. So I asked them if they could send me an ND filter, and they did. So what they sent me is this ND filter, and it just screws onto the front of this lens. Let me just grab that here. Now the beauty once you do this is, I'm just going to work out how to go, there we go. The beauty once you do this is that you have then an ND8 to an ND64. So what you do is you just set your exposure in Filmic Pro, lock it so that it won't change, and then you use the ND to get your exposure, and it works really, really well. That way you're sort of not cranking the shutter. Yes, you can just crank the shutter, and what I mean by that is raise the shutter, but then you sort of get this stuttering all the time that comes through. And in fact, the iPhone, you still see it occasionally, even when you're doing 24 or 25p, particularly if you're shooting in the maximum resolution in Filmic Pro like I am. But what we'll do now is, well, have a look at some footage of shooting around Melbourne. It's just during the daylight, so you're not going to get those lens flares because I didn't deliberately point up to the sun, but like I said, I showed you those images before that give you that lovely lens flares that you get with the anamorphic lens. So have a look at beautiful Melbourne, and then I'll come back to you and sort of sum up after that.
I wanna tell you that I think you're looking just fine. I wanna tell you that I want you by my side. The way you move your body, the way I feel inside. I wanna take you for a ride. wanna say that you are the one who's making me breathe. I hope that you can stay here. Yeah, you can stay the night. I hope that you can stay with me. Wanna be with you. Do you want me to? Wanna be with you. You're the one that I want. You're the one that I need. You're the one that I want. We can make it tonight. You're the one that I want. You're the one that I need. You're the one that I want.
Okay, so let me know what you think about it. I really love it. Like I said, I'm going to carry this with me wherever I go if I'm going to be shooting. It would be great for things like holidays and things like that. Even sort of for some wedding videos, I might just grab this out and do a quick take to get that really beautiful anamorphic look. So I might even use it for that scenario as well. But let me know what you think in the comment box down below. Thank you so much, SANDMARC, for sending me this. Hopefully we can do some other lenses together soon as well. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.